Hello and welcome to Affinity. One of the tricky things to do is to select the skin on the face. And a way you can do that is with my hue selection macros, which you can find through the resources link down below, and look for Dave's hue selection macros and load them as in the instructions there. And if you want to see the library here, go to View, Studio and Library there. So I'm going to just start off, go File, New and select anything, because I'm going to go to Stock Photos here, going to look for, put in Friends, I've got a group of people and we'll take this one here. And because it's different skin tones and we want to see if we can select those reasonably easily. So I'm going to go Document, Clip Canvas to get to this. I'll just right click and rasterize here to just convert it to a normal pixel image. Then we'll go to Dave's hue selection here. We'll go to Smart Hue selection here. And this will bring up here an extra copy of the image there and a macro in here. By itself does this, we need to change it, so let's double click that and I'll bring up the procedural texture here. And this has got a number of controls on it, so I can go to here, drag this up so I can see them all. And first of all, I'm just going to use the top three here to find the main bit of where the skin tones are. So it's a reddish one, so this is literally as the colours goes from red upwards here, so it's kind of the hue. But it's where the middle of the range is. We'll turn down the width and feathering so that it's only a limited amount. So we want to find the middle bit of this. So that's going down there, that's going away from it. So let's go up a bit here and just sort of click it up a little bit. We move it a little bit at a time. I think it's down a little bit. So that's round about, that's about the middle. Then increase the width to get most of this. And then tidy up the edge. If I zoom into this here, you can see it's a fairly hard edge. So if I increase the feathering, it will soften it, but it'll also bring in other things. So I might need to turn down the width a little bit. Because we got all this grey around here, because it's picking up other things, we can get rid of that with the mono protect. So if I turn this up, then there you go, the mono starts disappearing. So I can turn that up further. No, it was a bit far. And I put a bit of feathering on it so it softens the edge. So we can see here we've got the edges of this are looking pretty good. And we can play with this. We'll even change the calculation for feathering on the hue here, see which of those might work slightly better. And if I zoom outwards from this, you can see here how much is being selected. I'm going to have to play with this a bit to see if we can select the optimum amount. So we've got all the skin selected and kind of pull out away from the other areas. Here we go, that's taken less of the black and white. Some of the things you're going to get, so this bar at the top here and here, it's just too close. You start getting rid of those, you're going to get rid of everything else. So let's turn that off for the moment. So we're on this layer here. So could we paint on here? What if we paint black on there? So if I get to the paintbrush here, make sure I've got black. What happens here? Notice here, it's going really, really slowly, and it's because it's recalculating this, and that's a right old pain to do that. So what I'll normally do there, when I'm happy with that, is go to Layer and Merge Visible, which will basically heal this, unless you've got a really fast processor, and I've got a fast one here. It's just the amount of processing it needs to do. So I turn off that there, includes turn off that calculation. Now you can see this moves around here very, very easily. So what I'm going to do with this is I put a mask onto this, and then when I paint on the mask, you can see it gets rid of those other things. So you can go around with this and tidy things up, do the usual kind of masking things. You can do a select and mask and be very careful with this and so on. It's surprising actually that when you're doing it, you can also often get away with quite a lot. These sort of things tidy up quite easily. The hair things are somewhat trickier. I might need a bit more selecting, but the amount of things that you do is surprising how useful it is, and that even if you miss bits, it's actually not that bad. So what I'm going to do then is Control 0 to go out. You can see how much we've selected here. We put the bottom layer on, so we got the main one here, but in this one here, or you could be doing it in the one with the actual procedural texture in there, then we're going to put in a control. So let's just put in curves. And now this is just affecting the top there, so that's actually on everything. So if I turn this up, everything gets lighter. But if I drag it down to here, so it's just in that group there, now I'm just adjusting the skin. You can see here, now I can just want to lighten up the skin so I can see a little bit more, maybe put a little bit of contrast into it, and there we go. We could also paint out this one here, but that bar, but it doesn't matter about that for this. But you can see how even with darker skin and lighter skin, because the hue is actually, the underlying hue is the same, you can pick all of those in one image. Anyway, that's it, and thank you very much for watching.